Welcome to the Open to Hope Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
Well, Heidi, we have got a great show today on spouse loss and some fabulous people who are doing some really interesting things.
Yeah, we do, Mom. We're going to talk today to Caryl Fried Feldmann and her daughter, Sara Feldmann Sheehan. She's the executive director and a documentary filmmaker of the film Mortal.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here. You have produced this film. Your dad died,
Yes.
Skip. Your husband, Skip.
That's right.
Yeah, and that was how long ago?
That was about a year and a half ago.
Wow, it has not been that long for you. No, it's a very short time. And when did you start the film?
You know, we started the film when he started to decline, and Bobby, my husband, who's the director, you know, just picked up his camera, and we really thought it was going to be a very intimate thing, that we were just going to record it for the family, and it turned into this thing, this sort of our examination on love and life and loss. And of course my mom was a big part of that and a huge inspiration, because she really, you know, of her community and her friend group, she was kind of the first one going through it, and going through losing a husband and all of the decisions that needed to be made. And it was very difficult to see it. I was very uncomfortable, to be honest with you, because there I was out there.
Right.
And I didn't know whether I wanted anyone to see what we were going through, or see my husband like that in his decline.
One thing I loved about you on Mortal, I was excited every time you came on.
What a nice thing to say.
I know that sounds strange, and my husband was too, because there's something about you that is so hopeful, and just your energy, and when you come onto the film, I'm like, oh good, she's back. Because I feel really inspired that, you know, people are going to be able to get to a place of, you know, where there is more positive and more hope, because she's telling us, you know what, I've walked this journey and it's hard, but I've got to live my best life for me and for my husband.
That's true. But what has happened is that so many of my friends are watching their husbands decline. So they are calling me, and I am supposed to be the strong one. And there are times where you really don't feel like being strong. One of the interesting things that I did, which I don't do anymore, was I took out films that we had and I would watch them, and when he would be recording me doing things and his comments about me was very endearing and very, you know, I looked at it really I think for the first time sometimes, and it was, I felt he was there.
Now, what about people getting together and talking? What's been your support system outside your family been?
Well, they want to complain to me.
Oh.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And they say, is this all right? I'm so down in the dumps. One of my friends just called and said, I'm so down in the dumps. I'm just going back to bed. Is that all right? And I said, of course it's all right. Look what you've done all your life. Go back to bed. Read a good book. But they do call, and they just need affirmation.
I asked a very famous therapist who I taught at the University of Rochester, I said, how does a therapist grieve? And he said, long and endlessly like everyone else. How did you get up in the morning? What were your challenges?
Oh, I had to get up in the morning. So I had no choice. So I had to get up and I had to get going, and I had a project that I had to do. It seems that we found out that my husband had like post-traumatic stress syndrome, so that's one of the things that precipitated his decline. So I was going to find out all of it, and of course I couldn't. The last thing I got was a redacted thing from the government, and I'll never find out what happened. He was at our mission, and he was captured, and he escaped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you ever kind of mad at him for leaving
Oh,
you?
I sure am.
Well, you talk to him all the time.
Especially when things are broken in the house.
Yeah, I bet. Have you had any kind of contact or anything with him? I remember my mother telling me that she felt like my dad was in bed with her, and one day he said, "You're on your own now, girl."
I love it. That's good.
Well, Daddy helps you find lost things.
Yes, he definitely does. But, you know, it's definitely over, but I have not given away the clothes or his things, and then I'll be able to accept. Once I'm able to really accept it.
And it's been a year and a half. That's important for people to know, because some people are saying, "Let's get the closet cleaned out."
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
And why don't they do it? You know what I mean? There are some people that are like, "Why don't they do it? Let's move on." And
then he's really gone.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once you give them away, you can't get them back.
I'm not going to get them back.
Right.
They're all perfectly new and in plastic and,
you
everything
know,
else.
when I did work with the 9/11 widows, they would move their things gradually. So they would put them in, you know, away, but not move them out for years and years and years, and that was okay.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being on this show today, Carol.
and
We
thank you for
really
having me.
appreciate it. And the things
So
that
nice
you've
meeting you.
said, I know are going to be really important. And I hope people will see the film Mortal and go to
Absolutely.
the site Mortal.
And thank you for having the courage to be so public with everything that was going on and to give your daughter the green light and say, okay, it's okay, we can go for it with Mortal, we can put it out there, because it's a message that you're a lifeline for a lot of people out there. It's a message that people need to hear.
And thank you so much again for being on the show. And thanks everybody for watching the show. And Heidi and I hope you'll visit us at opentohope.com. And we also want to remind you that if you've lost hope, please lean on ours until you find your own, and God bless.